Hi, I'm Katherine reporting for Kids First, and today I have the opportunity to speak with Brandon Sawyer and JP Karliak, some of the cast and crew of Boss Baby Back in the Crib. Brandon Sawyer is the executive producer of Boss Baby Back in the Crib and is known for his other work on the Penguins of Madagascar, and The Secret Saturdays. JP Karliak voices Boss Baby and has been in works such as Boss Baby Back in Business, New Looney Tunes, and Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Welcome to the show. So this is a question for Brandon. After many extensions of this franchise, how are you keeping it fresh?
Well, this one was the easy one to keep fresh because, if you've seen the second movie, man, the whole world just changed around Boss Baby. It's decades later, and the Tim has grown up, has kids of his own. He's married to Carol. And so we carried that over into, well, how has Baby Corp changed? Has the philosophy changed with different people being in charge of the company? So, seeing these new characters and thinking about how other things may have changed around him, honestly, like the easiest part of the show was figuring out how to make it fresh and different, because it just based on the people he'd be dealing with.
Okay, so my question is for JP, and you have a very funny character. What creative techniques do you use to get into your character and bring him to life?
There's a lot of him that's kind of second nature to me. I'm not I'm not like a Jared Leto where I'm like, I walk around the house all day pretending I'm Boss Baby and everybody has to call me Boss Baby. Like, it's he's pretty relatable, and for me, and I kind of I'm able to slip into that. I will say, like, I joke that the voice is less Alec Baldwin and more me doing Will Arnett doing Alec Baldwin, and I always used to impersonate. I was a big fan of Arrested Development when it came out back in the early 2000s, and then and kind of remained a fan of Will Arnett, and was a big fan of the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah.
So I would always do like like that song that he does, like that heavy metal song that he does in the movie, and just all of that stuff. So that kind of like gets me in the voice zone. If I want to make sure that it's skewing a little more Alec in his cadence, I'll watch a couple episodes of 30 Rock. And just like pick up on a few of his lines, like, it's after 6 o'clock, Lemon. What do I live in a barn? Like, what am I, a farmer? That type of stuff, like just kind of getting that cadence. So there's stuff like that. But for the most part, I just pull him out. He's just there.
JP, you voice a lot of characters, specifically animated characters, in the past. So out of everybody that you voiced, who would it be that you would bring into the Boss Baby universe, and why?
It's Green Goblin for sure. I just think that, I love so much some of the big personalities that Boss Baby has faced off against, from Bootsy to Frederick to who's
Happy
Babisi
Sadangri.
guy?
It took me a minute too. Yeah, Happy Sadangri.
Yeah, Happy. And also Wendy. Horrible. Just big, larger than life villains, and I think Gabi is such a larger than life villain himself, in a delightfully, by definition, a delightfully kid-friendly way.
Yeah.
So I think they would tangle really fun together.
I feel like that would be very fun too. I would enjoy seeing an episode or a crossover like that.
I look forward to reading the fanfics online.
Of course. Okay, so this is a question for Brandon. Which show was more fun to produce, Back in Business or Back in the Crib?
I would never pick between my babies.
Literally.
They both, honestly, that's what I loved about doing the show, was how different they were, while still obviously, JP carried over, some of our other voice actors carried over, and a lot of our crew carried over. But the characters and the setting and the relationships between characters is so different. Tim was, as a kid, was always so enthusiastic, and if it sounded exciting or fun or an adventure, he was on board. And I love that Tabitha's in this new show, and Tabitha's a bit more, okay, what's in it for me? What are you offering here? Let's negotiate. I love, the purity of Tina, who just loves being in a family and is like, no, I work so that I have a life outside of work. So they're so different, the two shows, that I love them both equally for different reasons, just like my kids.
Okay, so my next question is for JP. Oh, what's been the most fun experience that you've had while recording?
Honestly, recording, period. Like there was, when the pandemic hit and there was just that uncertainty of like, how are we going to do this and anything and all of that. Once we got back, like seeing Brandon and Lisa, who's our director, like, on Zoom and being able to just work on a script together. I mean, I think I got emotional. It was just sort of like, because this was the first show that came back that I work on, and it was just like, oh, this could work. I might be able to pay my bills, and also just being able to see people and have that creativity, like, for a long time during that period, my social life was seeing my work colleagues on Zoom and just having and doing our work, which was great.
Yeah.
So that was definitely like the best part, was just doing it.
Yeah, and it's great that you just love the whole thing altogether, like especially after, you couldn't do much for a long time. Finally getting back there would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you all for talking with me today. Boss Baby Back in the Crib releases May 19th, 2022 on Netflix. I'm Catherine, reporting for Kids First. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next review or interviews or those of our awesome team members. See you later. Bye.
Jump ropes, the devil's floss.
You tried to warn us, Ranger Bankerton.